Hello and welcome back to my channel where I like to have fun with all things beauty while being critical about what I accept into my collection. Today I am doing a new makeup video. So I'm just going to chat about some of the more recent releases. This isn't something I do all that regularly, only because I guess I have a pretty large collection, but I don't make money at this and I don't get PR, so I haven't tried everything. So just based on that, really, I don't feel necessarily compelled to talk about every release out there. I know a bunch of other content creators do that, but I sort of chime in when I feel like I have something to say. So I definitely wanted to chat about the Robert Welsh and Blend Buddy collection. The collab was announced a little while ago, but we finally got photos of it today, and everything goes on sale on October 18th. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a big part of that is just because I love Robert Welsh, and I feel good about the Blend Buddy formula. It's what I have on my eyes today. I've only tried one palette from them, but it's definitely a solid formula that I feel really good about. I like the color story. It's a little bit big, if I'm being honest. I don't love really big palettes generally, but I don't really care about that. I think it'll be fun to play with because it's going to produce a large number of a lot of different looks. And frankly, a lot of my palettes these days, I feel like I have one or two looks that I like to go back for, and that's it. So I'm excited to play with it. I'm excited about the fact that it's going to force me to be a little bit more creative. And the lip products, I don't really care so much about, but I am going to get the bundle just to try everything. I do really love lashes, and the lashes look beautiful. So I'm happy that those are included. I certainly don't expect it to sell out, but I am going to set an alarm for myself. I'm going to try to buy it at launch just so I can get it sooner and tell everybody what I think. I also wanted to comment on the Makeup by Mario Moonlight palette that's dropping October 15th. I mean, don't get me wrong, this looks stunning, and if you gave it to me for free, I would absolutely take it and have fun with it. I love the cooler tones. I find those to be way more flattering on me than warm tones, but there's nothing about this that's unique to my personal collection. I have the original palette, the Ethereal Eyes palette, and for a period of time I really liked it. I got a lot of good use out of it, but then it just got replaced with other things that I use more. I think once the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude came out, that just became my everyday go-to palette, and I like that formula so much better, like so much better. I'm really happy that I have both I Need a Nude and Xenon, and I feel like both of those palettes replace this in a formula that is preferable to me. Like these toppers are all right, but even though they sort of hit the mark in terms of being that really wet look shimmer, the formula hard panned on me and it became really difficult to get it on my eyes. Even when I scraped off the surface and tried to fix it, even when it was brand new, honestly, it just didn't ever pick up, even on my finger, and it never really translated on my eyes to being that pretty. So one of those things, like on paper, it's stunning, but is it worth $68? Not to me, not even at 20% off. I would consider this if it was more than 20% off. Then I really would look into it. But based on the collection that I have and the fact that I already have the original, I'm not tempted. If I didn't have the original, that might be a different story. But, I kind of feel like knowing what I know, it's just not that special at the end of the day. And that's just my honest thought. Then we have some lip glosses from Dolly Beauty. These look really pretty. I actually held off on the lipsticks, even though I thought the lipstick case was cute. None of those colors really spoke to me. Whereas, I mean, a gloss is a lot easier going in general. A lot of them tend to be a lot more sheer, but these are cute. I mean, $18 each. I don't know. I sort of feel like maybe I would need to come across a code or something to really push me into the purchase category. And the lip liners I definitely don't need. Those are $14. I mean, I'm sure they're nice. I definitely want to purchase something from this at some point. I'm just not sure exactly what's going to be the item that becomes the first thing I get. I also wanted to mention this Melt makeup collab with Universal Monsters. I mean, I don't have a ton to say about Melt Makeup because I really haven't tried much from them. I do really like the packaging. I think the packaging was done beautifully. It's very cute. I don't really know much about these monsters. These are all movies from the early 1900s that I haven't really seen, so I don't really have much of a connection there, but I like that they did something different. You know, it's not the same most recent horror movies or Halloween themes that we've seen done to death. It's a little bit different, and I give them credit for that, but there's just nothing here that grabs me enough to really want to pick it up. We have 3 more additional Hourglass palettes, and like I said last time I talked about these, despite the fact that Hourglass is my favorite powder formula, I have what I need. I have a few of these palettes, and that's enough. I don't need them again and again. And I think going forward, I'll get the minis as singles. You know, like there are definitely powders that I'm running out of, but I'm not running out of all 6 shades. So going forward, I'll get the minis and I'm good with that. I'm not going to say that I'm never going to buy any going forward, but at least this year, I don't think I'll be buying any of either the Holiday or the Barneys release. Charlotte Tilbury Holiday, I'm not interested in any of this. I mean, last year I was definitely interested in the eyeshadow singles, and I'm still tempted. I mean, they look really pretty, but just not worth it. I have some Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow quads, and the quality is good. I'm not going to sit here and say the quality is not good, but not good enough. You know, it doesn't stand out in my collection. I don't reach for it ever. This 9-pan palette, honestly, it looks boring to me. I'm not interested in it, and I don't really like any of the other sets that I've seen. In the past, the packaging has really gotten me. When they did the marbling packaging a few years ago, I thought that was stunning. You know, in general, there's been some compacts that have really gotten to me because of the packaging, but that's not happening this year, and I'm grateful because I don't need any of this stuff. The Urban Decay Star Palette, you know, this is something that I could see myself using and getting decent value from because I love Space Cowboy, but because I love Space Cowboy, I already own it, and I own a bunch of other shimmers like it already. So the reality is this does not stand out enough for me to purchase it unless it was deeply discounted. We have the Harvest of Souls palette coming from Fantasy Cosmetica. I have tried a few singles from them and I really like the quality. So we have a little bit more information now. This palette releases on the 15th at 11 a.m. CST. It is $55 and the 2 candles that come in the collection are $30 each. I have tried candles from Fantasy Cosmetica and they're fabulous. I mean, I don't really have $30 to spend on candles right now, but if they ever go on sale, I'm definitely going to grab one. I think they're fabulous. I really like the look of the palette. I like the duochromes and the multi-chromes included and the color story. I just can't pick this up right now because I don't have unlimited resources, basically. You know, there was only so many palettes that I could pick up this season, and as much as I would love to include this one, I really just can't do that right now. That's really the only reason I'm not getting this right now. The quality is fantastic, and I think if this color story really speaks to you, you will not be disappointed. You can also always use a 10% off code. I believe the last one I used was Bones, B-O-N-E-S, and that can help a bit. They do have some bundled deals, but that really only saves a couple dollars, so it all depends on what you're in the market for, but this is a very pretty collection. Another release I really wanted to include is this from Patrick Ta. He sort of sneak released this on Instagram, and they're just little eyeshadow duos. We don't really have any information yet. I don't know when they're dropping. I don't know what the price is going to be, but that's going to determine whether or not I consider these. They do look really beautiful, and I especially like the pink duochrome and the lighter pink shade. That would probably be the one that I would grab if I picked any of them up, but we'll see. If they drop during the Sephora sale and I can get them at a discount and they're reasonable, I might be tempted to go ahead and try it, but I certainly don't think that these are anything that I don't already own, probably 10 times over, so I really need to sort of keep that in mind as I'm looking at these and all the beautiful lighting. And like they're just going to be good. They're not going to be life-changing, but I'll consider them if the price is right. Forgot about this one. All right, so we have something exciting coming from Glaminatrix. Oh man, all we see is the outer case, and yeah, it's beautiful. Probably gonna want it. Or actually, I think I do know what this is. Or I should reiterate, I don't know for sure, but I think they are re-releasing one of their older palettes, and if that's what this is, I'm absolutely going to buy it. It's one of the ones that they came out with years ago that I really wanted and didn't get. So based on that and the clues I got, I think this is probably going to be a purchase for me. I love Glaminatrix. They're probably my favorite formula. At least for shimmers anyway. Then we have something from Glamlite. We have the Halloween II collection. This actually looks cute. It's a very cute color story. I like that it's a little bit different from them, and I've tried a few things from Glamlite. The formula is solid. It's not something I like jump through hoops for, and I certainly don't like to pay full price, but it's a solid formula, and if I were to get this at a discount, I would absolutely pick it up. All right, and then I see the Pat McGrath collection, which I've talked about several times now, so I don't want to talk it into the ground, but I'm definitely skipping this. I understand that it is an Italian formula, but it's not the Italian mothership formula. It's the same formula that was in the 5-pan shadows that she came out with for a few holidays in a row now, and it's an okay formula, but I don't love it, and I certainly don't need any more of it. I see the Nomad Chicago palette, which I am getting, and I'm hoping it arrives soon. As soon as I get my hands on that, I will be absolutely doing a review. Finally, I'm going to finish it off with this Wicked and REM collab. The eyeshadow palette definitely reminds me significantly of Odin's Eye, but you know, it's a cute packaging. I mean, all of the packaging here is adorable. I think it's a little too expensive for me to try it right now. I'll be really interested to hear the reviews of this, but yeah, that eyeshadow palette at $55, that's just a little bit too steep for me. None of these colors are unique enough for me to want to take a $55 gamble. You know, that being said, I've liked everything that I've tried from REM. Everything recently, especially since they split from Morphe, I have a lot more confidence that the quality will be good, but you know, more needs to be seen before I'm totally convinced that these shadows are worth the money. I just need to see more reviews. And that's where I'm going to drop it off. I mean, there's like hundreds of things that I could talk about in this video, but I really wanted to just stick with a few things that jumped out at me. I only had a few minutes to film today, so this whole video was very impromptu. Later in the week, when I have more time, I'm going to sit down and use all of my Sephora favorites on camera and start to whittle down my loves list and what my favorite products, you know, tried and true solid purchases are, and hopefully not overspend. So that's the goal for the rest of this week. And then, you know, with holiday releases, I might do another video like this because I do think it's fun to look through and talk about the good stuff and laugh about the bad stuff. Quite frankly, I think that's just as much fun. So regardless, wherever you are, I hope you're having a fabulous week. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.